everyone, and sorry for not updating yesterday. I don't know, yesterday and the day before. Um, I got a bit sidetracked with other projects, and yeah, I also don't know where my my blog link should go, but that's okay. I don't want to promote my stuff so much as I want to be able to kind of link it all together. So if you ever want to find me on a different platform, you know where to look. The only problem is I shy away from every platform. Let's see. So, the day that I vlogged here, I did my language things like I should have, and everything went well. I got 9 languages done in about 5 hours. Not so much done, but I got what I needed for the 1 hour that I want to spend on each-ish. 1 hour, 1.5 hour on I think a few that I already knew. This is English. I don't need to learn English at this moment. But I've been trying to learn a bit and focus on certain things academically, because language learning is more to me a hobby, but I love the hobby a lot, and I really do wish I can keep doing it for as long as I can, and all that good stuff, because it's like my baby. But I have lots of different things I like to do with languages, so far I've just been setting up while I was talking, and I haven't been the best learner at the moment. I could have done more, I could have written more, I could have like studied harder, and so my progress has not been as great as I wanted to, because I took a day off, I believe yesterday, but Thursday was okay. Thursday was fine. Yesterday, Friday, I took off, and today I took off, so not too good, because I want to try to be fluent, or understand to the level I want to, like B1 I think, or be able to understand it as close to fluency as possible in 6 months. So that was a day off of my 6 months, and I'm already halfway through my first month, so it's not the best, but still at the same time I did write 300 Italian words down. It's a bit hard to read, but I can recognize some of the Italian words when I look through it, and I can write them down. I also wrote them down in another notebook a little bit clearer, but I can always go back into this, and I can find like breakfast is like corazon, and like heart is sieno, broccoli is just broccoli, hair is marene, but my accent is not the best, so I got a lot of vocabulary, but I did not practice my speaking, nor did I practice sentence structure, or like the most said verbs, which was supposed to be here. So I did okay with Italian. I learned more than I needed to, which is kind of nice, because since I learned more than I had to, I was able to not be as bad, I guess, when I took the time off, because I do know it, but language learning is a daily thing I should do. So Italian's not too bad, but I figured out to write this stuff down. And for kanji radicals, because I have an okay grasp on the hiragana katakana, so I thought that I'd add a little bit of kanji because I thought it would help me a little bit, and it does, actually, especially so with the Chinese. When I am learning Chinese, I can notice the different radicals in kanji. So like the movement radical comes in certain, I believe, like in certain Chinese characters, because kanji is basically Chinese characters, but I notice the way they break it down into radicals, it helps me understand how I should write them in Chinese. But the most thing I didn't do with Japanese was I forgot to find like the content that I needed to study it with, so that's one thing I need to work on. For the most part, I did okay. From my fear with kind of learning kanji is like I feel like I'm going to forget, and like I said, I didn't really practice the stuff, so I mean obviously I forgot, but like I can still go through this and understand, like, yes, I'm supposed to do this, I'm supposed to write it like this, I'm supposed to write it like that, so it's not too bad, but it is not the best I could have done. I definitely could have practiced, and then I definitely could have done this. I don't quite understand how you pronounce them, because like I said, my katakana and hiragana are not the most best, I guess, but I do recognize like the characters. embarrassed to say them out loud today. But hopefully that will change. So let me get a list so that way I don't. Okay, there we go. So here we are. So languages. Writing. So Italian would be, I'm gonna say we have the list of perfect, good, let's do awesome, good, okay / decent, because I already wrote decent, and then like bad or didn't do. So I have like 5 here. And so I'll say Italian is decent, needs grammar and sentence structure. And then Japanese, okay, but needs practice, because you need to practice your kanji. You need to practice your radicals, and you need to practice like saying like I uredo ka ki kukeko sa shi suseso, and I can say that, but I also need to write them down as I say that, just so I can get that memory. A lot of times I can notice them, but it's one of those with the ones that I realize I don't know. I go, oh, is that sha, shi, is that ka, like, what is it? But I would say I need to work on that. Work on alphabet. Work on alphabet. There we go. This is how I usually do it, and I thought having a language channel where I upload like how I should learn and everything would be good. It might be a little bit different from what other people do, and as I get better, my setup will get better. And as a lot of people say, once your 10th video is uploaded, or like your couple whatever videos, you'll be kind of knowing where you're headed, and then you know what to do. So I find it very good. Hebrew I did actually kind of exceptionally well in my opinion, because my goal was to learn the alphabet, and I kind of found like a little nice landmine of information. Not landmine. Wow, that was bad. Like a little gem of information in the channel that I was looking at, and I was able to learn all the alphabets. I was able to learn the difference between the printed version on the computer and handwritten Arabic. It's different. And I was also able to learn kind of like the different spellings, how this works, and also the Niquid system where they have the dots. It was a bit funny though, was they said you don't need to learn this if you're learning modern Hebrew and everything, and I was actually kind of okay with not doing that, because I kind of understood it without the system, but once I added it, and I think once I figured that out, I'll be able to do it. Okay, so I would say Hebrew was great, or awesome. Yeah, awesome, great. Definitely look up and practice alphabet though. Alphabet. Also with a plus, write and practice. I have a couple of friends who know Hebrew, and I should definitely try it, because now that I feel a bit confident, a lot of times once I get the alphabet and I understand it, like Hebrew goes this way, so I believe it's right to left, right to left, yes, and it kind of calms me down a little bit, because I know what letters are in there and what's not, which is why learning Japanese and Chinese was like, oh, because it was like so much that you had to learn that was different, but that's okay. I think now that I was doing this, I should have made this into a live stream. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But Chinese I did actually quite well too. I did a lot of phrases, and I actually filled up 3 pages. I could definitely have practiced these, because I can figure it out, like no, I can't figure it out apparently. Yeah, I can't figure it out. I'm not very good. But yeah, but here, like if you know, I think Japanese, you can see that this is the child radical right here. So like, you know, it is also used in Japanese. So if you are learning Japanese and Chinese, I wouldn't say do them together, but learn Japanese first, then learn Chinese around the time you learn radicals, and you will make radical success, kind of. But you have to understand that they will use it differently. So that is your one drawback, is that they will have different meanings. So it might not be a child radical in Chinese. So that's what I know, but it may not be so much of like to a beginner. But I'm also a beginner, so don't quote me on too much yet. But 谢谢你，谢谢。不用洗，不用洗，不用洗，yeah， 不用洗。No need, thank you. So you're welcome. 不用洗。你好，早安。So 在前。I said it was John. Zaichen. There's an E. Oh, okay, there we go. There's the little tail with the Zaichen. So, yeah, Chinese, I was a little bit hesitant to practice because I realized that Chinese has a lot of stroke order, and I don't know if it's exactly like Japanese. So, like, Japanese will write kind of, if you see a letter, it's going to be going, like, left. So, like, it's gonna kind of go left all the time. Like, you can kind of assume. And then when they're writing in Japanese, they want it to flow. So if you were gonna write like the person radical, like one, you do that. But then it would flow. So if there's another one, I think you go like this. Like if there's a line, so we want to do the mouth radical. Then you go down and then over, down, and then you want to go this way. You go this way again. So I didn't know exactly if Chinese was the same. I believe it is, but I think it's painful for anyone who's watching this who actually knows the languages I'm studying. I would think it would be kind of a little bit painful if I were watching someone doing that as well. I'd also think that it's kind of nice because they're being honest, that they don't know, but it would also be a bit painful. I'm sorry. I did find out though that Chinese uses particles though, like Japanese and a couple other languages, I think, is particles. So it was good to see the similarities of Japanese in Chinese, but not too similar that they are too alike, I believe, which is good, because I don't mix them up like I do with katakana and hiragana all the time. I love kana because it's fun to say. You go like I udedo, and you can just write it like I, and then you go like what's it again? Yeah, that's the one I always forget. But like you can kind of watch and do it together as you are listening to like a song, and you can write it. You can write it like da 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 da. So one nice thing though is I can kind of recognize it though, so it's good. But I just can't write it for some reason. It's really weird. I don't know. Maybe it's stroke order. Maybe I'm like don't want to write it wrong, so I'm not gonna write it at all. Which might be nice, but it's like when you have to practice, you have to practice, even if you don't want to or are afraid to do so. But yeah, the sanji, yeah, the sanji I kind of liked a little bit, or the shi, because like it was like I, san, su, I, san, su, wu, jin, kun, ma, ju, shi. I think that's right. But it was a lot easier than I thought it was. That might have been really bad, but as I listened, I'm going to listen to that video again. Let me find that. Chinese, I'm going to say it was good. Chinese was good. It's good. I learned more than I needed to, but I also now know what I need to learn better. And I need to memorize. So like, memorize phrases. Memorize numbers. There you go. Numbers in Chinese are actually quite easy because like you add the ending to it. So like 40 is like san, su, shi. So you just say like literally like 4, 10. So that's nice. Like I, shi says 10. So you just have like it's easy. Well, not 10. I, shi. It would just be shi. But any number after 10, you just add the number. And then you say she at the end, unless it is in the hundreds. So it's like all the tens you say she with. So like I So like she is 20. Then like she is 30. C is 40, and so on and so on. When I get better at it, I'll just be able to count them all, like san, su, si, that, and I will get my Chinese accent perfect. But for now, it is okay. So it is good. Okay, decent. All right. I need to practice. Whoa, that rain is coming down. And use it more, because if I don't use it, especially Chinese, I'm not going to remember it. Like, I need to find music, find music with numbers in it. Find Chinese songs. If anyone has good Chinese songs and I've listened to this whole video until then, please recommend them in the comment section below. I will also include them into my music playlist, which I made. But other than that, I found a really good video to learn Korean in, and it was super helpful. So I was able to figure out the syllables, not the syllables, but like how you combine the syllables. I can't talk. You create the syllables when you combine consonants and vowels. So then there's different ways you can combine them, and it's so helpful. I don't know if I should start linking this stuff below. I think I might, because it's just, if you are learning the way that I'm learning, I think it would be very helpful, because while I have them in the playlist section, I usually just bombard myself with content until I absorb it, and if I don't absorb it and I can't figure it out after watching it once or twice, I move on, but I might not delete it from my playlist. So I will, in the next video definitely, maybe in this video if I remember, because on the computer it's a lot easier to find your links and stuff, but on here it's like torture sometimes, because it will delete what you're saying and then do this and then do that, and you're just like, no, why? Oh my gosh. But here it's very helpful, so it was very nice. I was able to keep all my notes neat and pretty tidy for each of the lessons that they broke it up in, and I even got over here. I didn't finish the entire thing because I ended up kind of nodding off a bit, because I do all of my studying very late into the night. I shouldn't do it as much, but so I can be ready in the morning when I need to. So yeah, but this is the original one that I made. It was really confusing, so don't do it the way that I'm doing. I would say Hangul is a little bit harder than you would think it is, because it's like but it actually is really good. It is very helpful once you get to it, but sometimes people won't understand that quickly. I would say that it is a pretty simple alphabet, and if I was working on it, I could definitely learn it in a day. But because I'm not doing that so much, and Korean isn't on my absolute top must-learn list at this moment, I just want to learn the alphabet at this moment and see kind of how, like, listen to some K-pop and see how it like connects with the subtitles. But it is not why I am succeeding. But if you were to sit and listen and practice and do everything, like really go into it, you can definitely probably learn Hangul in hours, probably over the weekend if you want. But it really is pretty simple. Like, I was only watching it was like an hour-long video, but it had everything you needed to know about Hangul and more. Like, by the time the video was finished, I was kind of watching it and not taking notes because my brain just had so much information in it. I already knew, like, sentences. I forgot some of them at the moment, but like I knew how you built them, I knew how you kind of sounded them out. So it is one of those languages that once you can get it, you can go far. But at the same time, they do have some drawbacks with the language, like uncertain pronunciations are different than English. So, but that's kind of like my only thing so far. I do hear there are some odd words sometimes, like verbs. There are a lot of verbs you have to memorize and different things like that, and adjectives are a little different. But other than that, it's not too hard. With Spanish, I kind of slacked off in Spanish because it was right after Korean, and all that mind-blowingness was kind of like, I don't need to learn anything else, this is the best. So I kind of slacked off and just did basic phrases, which is nice because learning the phrases, I realized that I forgot how to say, never mind, I can't read what I said. Por favor, suscriblos a ese channel. Apparently it's please subscribe to this channel. That wasn't planned, but you can subscribe if you want. Yeah, as you can tell, like the tireder or the more like not into it I got, like the less the words make sense. That's why I put Italian first, because I need to do a lot of writing. I need to understand a lot. But yes, for the most part, it's just kind of watching that video and taking notes kind of refreshed my memory a bit. Like quanto cuesta, how much? Like quanto es, how much? Like la cuanto, and things like that. Like I don't feel comfortable sometimes with Spanish. Like I just messed up, and I don't want to talk Spanish, but I should. And doing this kind of helped me a little bit, and soon I will go over them and not do anything at all. So like well, not do anything. I will keep learning, but I will not keep the notebook with me. I'll put it like over there, you can see it, and then I will talk it. I will speak it. I can't talk. Korean I think was close to perfect. I think close to perfect, but the ending was not so much, but I kind of, it's understandable. I got tired, but I'm just gonna say it was close to, because I'm gonna call myself out. Take notes. Take notes, do practices. And another thing was, I didn't really do the practices because I wanted to learn the alphabet, and that kind of is one thing that you shouldn't do, but I always got away with it at school because I always kind of understood stuff. So yeah, when you're learning languages and it's online and you don't have to worry about like a tutor or anything, I would say you can do that, but always go back and do the practices. That's what I always tried to do when I got a bit older in school, and it wasn't like first grade math. Ha 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 ha! I can do pluses and minuses and equals. It was like, oh, fourth grade. Yeah, I really need to practice my multiplication, else I'm gonna fail. So. And I can do long division in my head now. Look how far I've come. Need to learn algebra. Anyway, so yeah, do practice. Make sure to practice. I'm just gonna redo that and write. Find new words. One thing I've noticed is I kinda can't find any people to talk with. Not so much in a bad way, but it's one, the Korean people that I have found, I have not been able to find as much. I think I might need to download some language apps. I'll get back on my language apps. And then two, I just sometimes, I don't know what to say. Like I'm just low enough that I think it's like one of those, I don't want to be weird, but I don't want to force someone to be my teacher either. But I don't want to be like, oh, like ni hao ma, there we go, and have that all in Chinese, and some of it with a translator. I did that once. It came out kind of weird, but you do that, and then they're like, oh, okay, this person speaks Chinese, and later like, oh, by the way, I don't know Chinese at all, and they're like, so yeah, that's one thing I'm a little worried about. So I think I will learn some more phrases, and then I will give learning things like that a go, because it is good to do and will help you later in my studying life. I don't want to saying it'll help you. You're just watching me as I go over things I did for accountability, because I totally watch this. I don't watch it at all, but at the same time. I found this really nice Latin video. It was by someone who was new to teaching, but they did it quite well. The only thing I wish it was a bit longer. But I learned a couple things. But yeah. And they said in the next episode of their Latin teaching that they would teach you more. I'm not 100% sure what they would teach, but I think Latin is going to still be a bit of a self-study for me, because it's very hard to find people talking about Latin the way that I'm looking in Google, and not Google, but in YouTube. In the Googling world, I have been able to find Latin quite well. I think that I'm going to start taking 5 minutes to talk about each language, because this is getting a little bit mixed up together. So, Latin was a bit poor. Like, bad. Need 2 lookups for self. Also need to look out for self too sometimes. But anyway, 5 mins each language. 5 times 9 would be 45 though. So roughly 5 minutes. 5. Maybe like 2 to 5. 2 to 5 minutes on each language depending on it, because this hasn't been too bad. I've always talked a bit fast, and I've always been able to do some things a bit more efficient than I think, and sometimes than others, I guess, a little. So I think I will just go. Not so much others, like other people, but I think like other plants, I don't know. That just kind of popped out. I'm getting a bit tired. What's next? Excuse me. German. I like over here it has parts of speech, and this side just has nothing. I think this is because this was an old thing. I went through my German notebook and found all of this random notes in here that didn't apply anymore. I mean, it applies, everything applies to the language, but it was more like, say, trinket is this, Prost, and it was like, oh, that note. Was I drunk when I did that? So, yeah. Today, in the book, I need to start dating the pages too. Dating pages. Date pages when learning. Date pages when learning. I never do that. One of the reasons I don't do that is because I always forget when I did something or how to do the date, because I'm not in Europe. Because I always do it like day, month, year, but I think the American people should do month, day, year. So I always chicken out and just go like, don't need to know it, but I don't know. And it's like, do it! Back to Deutsch. I have a friend who speaks Deutsch and also lives in Deutschland. They are very nice, and they are teaching me how to speak the Dutch. Speak the Dutch. Speak in Dutch. They gave me some good advice to practice more and incorporate German into my language more, like my everyday talking, so like my vocabulary, and that it will help me a lot, and I think it will. I also think I should write more stories, so if you like fan fiction, I shall be writing some. No smut, but maybe a little. Anyway, but I think that would be good, so that way I can write, figure it out, all that good stuff. And German was pretty decent today, and that day, like I learned like Februar, I think it's Februar, like Fronden, Obst, Gruner, I believe, where was it, Gemüse, I think, vegetable, but Essen, Ach, like Bus, Brown, like I learned a lot, and I also did it the same when I was Italian, and this seems to be okay, but only when I make sure I'm writing pretty well, and it does cramp my hand a bit, so I may have to figure out a better way to do it, but hey, so far it's pretty good. I know most of the months, and I know most of the days, not exactly by, but if I were to switch my phone to the months in January being in German, I think I could understand, like it would be like January, Januar, February, I think March, April, May, Juni, July, August, September, October, November, December, I think is how it goes. I'm not quite sure. It wasn't too hard because English and German are pretty close, but considering I've been learning German since I was about 9, and this is like the most I've gotten, I'm gonna say it's okay. Yeah, before all I could say was like, Ich bin Brot. I am bread. I love bread. I eat so many sandwiches I might as well turn into bread. But German was okay. Okay. I need to use more German and understand like more grammar. Because it's like grammar and vocabulary, they go hand in hand. You need to know your grammar and vocabulary. So if you know the vocabulary, you can stick it with your grammar. Viola, words. And also, communications. I don't know. Also, the alphabet is important. What was this? Oh yeah, this is French. Bonjour, salut. On the side, this is my French phrases. And and then there was too much leftover time that I had to do another video and more learning, so that's not bad. So, but that's why I filled up 2 pages and they have nothing to do with each other. This is 25 or like 15 of 25 French verbs and different sentences using them in them, and then different phrases. So it was pretty good. I don't remember half of it. Yeah, that was one bad thing, was that like I had it going a bit fast, so I did not know what I was doing. When I was writing them down, I didn't take the best of notes, but a lot of it was kind of review, so I did okay, but learning wise, I didn't learn that many new things. So like bonjour, salut, hello, hi, je m'appelle, non, oui, bonsoir, bon nuit, all that stuff was good. And I like était, avait, faire, like all the verbs. Like I know how to spell them, I know how to do this, but I did not fix the proper punctuation, this or that. So it's like, I had to review more French. Let's say bad. That was bad. No, not good. No ball. But yeah, I forgot my other video, but I know I was gonna do a update video on this, and then I was also going to do. I forgot. I need to carry a notebook with me and write down the things I have to do now. But yeah, I don't know. Lately, I did figure out though what I need to do for all the languages, so let's do this really quickly. I think I might start using my TheMGMouse channel as something personal. Not the TheMGMouse, but the TheMGMouse, this one, and use like my Tumblr for my personal practice, and then I'll have my normal vlog. So the one that I will link to will be the Tumblr pretty soon, but I need to get it set up. So let's see. So for Italian, I need to practice this time vocabulary and grammar, and then for Japanese I need to practice using kanji. Hebrew needs more vocabulary usage, and then writing practice, because Hebrew writes it backwards, or right to left rather than left to right. Chinese needs stroke order and a bit of pronunciation. Korean, you just keep doing what you're doing. It's pretty okay. Latin, find new resources, I think. Resources. German, use more writing and other. Spanish just needs to be upgraded. Spanish needs to be like improved. I didn't write that above, but it's the same here. Spanish needs improvement. Via grammar, vocab. And then French is the same. That's pretty much it. Bye.